this woman will, want to spend time with you without the intimacy part. Why you might think as a single mom as a future wife material.
Yo, what is up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to Richie Rich Abroad. I'm your host, Richie Rich.
And this is Chang.
We're going to talk to you today about why one of those single moms that you know might be worth your time, your attention, and even marriage.
Before we get into this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you get updated on our latest videos.
Don't forget to hit the like button because it's important to the YouTube algorithm and it lets us know that our audience appreciates our videos.
Make sure that you watch till the end of the video where we're going to give you one of the most important reasons why you might think as a single mom as a future wife material. So Rich, kick the intro and let's get on to this video.
Yellow and white stripe. Here we go. So normally, you know how we do it. I usually take the point, but in this video, Ching is taking the point. I'm going to sit back and let her do her thing.
Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity because I think this is one of the most important topics that we should discuss because there are a lot of single moms here in the Philippines.
There's a lot of things that you can explain, you can talk about that I really know nothing about. So let's get it cracking.
Yes. Okay, so Rich, one of the most important things that you will consider when moving here into the Philippines is that when you're dating a Filipina, here is the list of things that you want to look out for that lets you know that she is worth your time and attention. All right, so let's start with number one. So she discloses from the beginning that she has kids. So it's very important that up front, she's honest with you that she has kids. Because if she's hiding that she has kids, then from the start, she's already lying about it. So the second reason is that she's not a party girl. So I don't think if her priorities is in the right place and, she doesn't party with the girls, she doesn't have that much free time on her hands. So I think partying is one of the least things that a single mom would do, so you will devote your time and energy to raising your kids and spending time with your kids, doing chores, etc. And I think partying will be on the bottom of the list. Okay, the third reason is that her kids are her priority. So prioritize the kids, you, of course, being in the equation. So she prioritizes her kids, she prioritizes you, and making sure that you are working as a family unit. And also, she makes time for you. So she doesn't neglect you or puts you out of the equation because you are included now in the family unit. So she makes sure that your needs are also met.
I think one of the things a lot of men worry about is whether or not this woman who's a single mom is going to have time for you. If she has a kid or kids, that is going to take up a lot of her free time. So if you can meet a woman who prioritizes you, who finds a way to prioritize you, and that means her time management skills have to be on point. If she finds a way to still be able to prioritize you along with work, along with her kids, along with her family, she might be worth your time.
Now, moving on to the next is that woman is emotionally and financially stable. She has a job, so she has means of supporting herself. So she's not gonna rely on you solely for the financial obligation. So she will be taking the majority of the financial obligation when it comes to her children. And also she can take care of a household, like domestic responsibilities. It's common here in the Philippines is that, we can cook, we can clean, and all the other domestic responsibilities. And of course, definitely, she's a good mom. So if she's a good mom, then that woman could be a keeper.
I've said in many videos already how I feel about dating any woman who doesn't have a job, especially here in the Philippines. For me, dating a woman who has a job or being with someone who has a job is paramount. Because if she doesn't have a job, then you are her source of income. And for me, that's not going to be okay, especially if you have kids. I don't want to be her source of income at this stage in our relationship. Maybe later when we set some boundaries, maybe later when our relationship has gone to the next level. But for right now, nah, I'm not it. I'm not it. She should be able to take care of herself.
Yes,
she should be able to take care of her
exactly.
kids. And I can add to that.
Moving on to the next. So if she has a very good relationship with her parents. So this is very important because, you know, she has a healthy family support system. Now, if she's a single mom and her parents are still together, and also she has like siblings, and you know, the children have aunts and uncles that would really show or demonstrate a strong male role model for the children. So basically, you already have that expectation that, you know, there's a father figure in the household, and also that, you know, she has a family support system.
You can tell a lot about the person you're with by her family. You know where she came from. If you know where she came from, then you have a pretty good idea of what kind of person she is. So I want to know about her family. I want to know I want to see how they interact together. I want to see how they work together. Do they get along? And before I jump into somebody's family, I want to know that it's a good family. That it's a family that's not crazy, that's not toxic, that's not all over the place. Coming from a good family is huge for me.
So I think it's kind of similar to the saying, what you said about what you heard in Montana. It's kind of similar to the saying, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So it's definitely defines your character, who molded you or who raised you, no? So meeting the family is one of the things that you can do to vet that woman. So yeah.
For sure.
All right, so the next thing is vetting before doing the uchi-uchi. So this woman will, you know, want to spend time with you without the intimacy part. So it may take a little longer. So, you know, vetting, knowing each other, chatting, spending time with each other without the intimacy part, it will be a little longer. But, you know, she thinks that this person that you're doing the uchi-kuchi with will be my next lifelong partner, because you have to think twice, really, who you allow to put in between your legs. So this person is very particular with whom she thinks she's gonna sleep with. So the person that this woman is going to sleep with will be the long-term partner that she's eyeing, you know?
I'm going to actually disagree with Cheng just a little bit.
Okay.
Cheng said this will take a little longer but fellas, don't worry. The idea over here of a little longer may not be as long as you think. So don't worry about that.
Maybe a week is longer.
Yeah, so don't let that dissuade you from,
Maybe 3 to 5 dates, and then after the 5th date, that's longer. Why? 5 dates is too long?
If it's 5 dates, it's 5 dates. Whatever it is. But look, they're serious over here. The women over here are serious, especially the single. They're investing. They're investing because they're thinking about the future. Yeah. If you sleep with someone who's a single mom, she is thinking about the future. It is not for fun for her.
Yes.
It is not just recreational use. It is serious for her. She thinks about it. She may be thinking about it way different than you are. She is trying to lock you down, and she's going to give you her best effort, whatever that might be. She's going to give you her best effort. So it is probably not going to be 5 dates. It might, however many dates it is, you won't have to wait that long.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. Don't let it dissuade you from pursuing her. If she's a good woman, she's going to do everything she can to make sure you're a quality man to bring around her kids.
Yes. So I think it won't be like on the first or second meeting that you'll get introduced to the children. So it will take time because she's betting on you. Just her, she's not going to introduce you to her family, to her children, because she knows that it will be a heartbreak once you get the connection, when you have the connection with the children and the family. So it will be a heartbreak if that woman will introduce you to her family and to her children. So the moment you get introduced to the children and to the family, that means that she's really vetted in you, she's serious about you, that she's thinking about you as her lifelong partner. The next thing is that she prioritizes her health. So, you know, as we all say, men are visual and they like fit, feminine, and friendly. So she doesn't make excuses about, you know, I have kids, so I don't have time to exercise. So she doesn't make up excuses. She doesn't blame her children for, you know, not having the time to exercise. And she doesn't complain, or she She doesn't make excuses about gaining weight. And also, she's eating right and she's taking good care of herself physically.
She's making sure that she is the best choice for you.
Yeah, because being a single mom, you are at a disadvantage. So you have to make yourself presentable so that other men will be, look at you as a best option as well.
So look, one of the things you got to look out for is them kids.
Yeah.
Right? Are they badass kids? Are they respectful kids? Are they good kids? Do they behave? Watching the kids will tell you a lot about this woman as a mom. So if you see those kids and the kids are respectful, they know how to sit down and be quiet. They know they're well mannered. This shows a whole lot about her character because there's only one way them kids can get that way. That's if she put the time, the effort, and the work into those kids to make them behave that way. So that's, to me, that's huge. When I'm looking at a woman, I want to know what the hell, I want to see what her kids act like.
I agree. Okay, so the next thing is that she values your opinion about her kids. So she's open to suggestions and considers your suggestions and sees it as objectively, not as an attack to her. So if this person is like open-minded and open to change and willing to take in the suggestions, then definitely this woman is a keeper. So for example, it's common here, the age gap relationships, So as a man who is, seasoned, let's call it seasoned, and you already had an experience, your kids are grown and you have a fair experience of how to raise children.
You've done it before.
Yeah, so you can, suggest, you can suggest ways on how to improve. If you think that her parenting style is not really, effective, then you can suggest parenting styles and see if she's open and she's going to consider it. Now, if she considers it and she takes or values your opinions and suggestions, then you might consider that woman is very open-minded. She doesn't take it as an attack and she's, willing to learn and improve her current, parenting style.
Or you can just walk away and say,
"Hey, hell no!"
One of the two, but hopefully this is a quality woman who really, really values your opinion. She values your experience, and she's willing to listen to suggestions. The key word being suggestions. So we gave you a list of a whole bunch of things you can watch for, a whole bunch of things you should pay attention to see if that single mom might be somebody you ought to pay a little bit more attention to, and who you might should put on the short list as a long-term candidate. So let's go over the list again. We'll start with number 1.
Number 1, she discloses up front that she has kids.
Number 2, she's not a party girl. Ain't got time for all of that. Party girls want to be out all night. They don't want to be responsible, and they want to spend up your money.
Cha-ching. Her kids are her priority, prioritizes her kids, and makes sure that the family needs are met.
And number 4, she's emotionally and financially stable, because that is a must for a man like me. If you don't have a job and you got kids, do not come near me.
Next is that she has a good relationship with her parents. So she has a very good, healthy family support system that helps her raise her children.
I want to know that she's a good egg, and I want to know that she comes from good stock. And the best way to do that is to meet her family.
So she vets before the oogie boogie. So I mentioned earlier that it will take a longer time before she do the intimate with you, but as contrary to what Rich said, it will take like 3 to 5 days before she do the buttering the biscuit with, or knocking the boots with you.
If you're considering a woman for a long-term partner, that should not be your primary concern, is how long it takes for you to have sex for the first time. I mean, yeah, you want to try out the goods, but you need to be watching what she does as well as listening to what she's saying.
Yeah, because in her mind, once you do the intimate with her, she's thinking about marriage already.
It's a long-term deal for her.
Yeah. So next is that she's a widow or she's been single for a while. So you are going to be sure that she's not desperate to jump on the first man that she will meet, because, she's been single for a while. She's okay being single and she's content and happy being on her own.
And number 8 is super important for me. She prioritizes her health. She eats good. She exercises. She ain't using the kids as an excuse for being overweight, because she ain't overweight. She is fit, feminine and friendly.
Being fit, feminine, and friendly also means that she has the discipline to exercise. So that discipline is very important.
Number 9, her kids are respectful. She don't have badass kids. Who the hell wants to marry somebody or be in a relationship with somebody who has badass kids? I know I sure as hell don't. So that's a sure way to vet a woman and to make sure that she is top quality and potential wife material.
Next is she values your opinions about her kids. So she's open-minded and willing to learn.
A very tactful suggestion, but the key point is that she's willing to listen, she's willing to learn, and she's willing to hear you out and maybe even try and implement some of the things you brought up. And now the biggest reason why you think this Filipina might be able to make the short list of people who could be long-term potential. Listen for a woman who doesn't diss her ex.
Yes.
Listen to and hear how she talks about her ex. Listen and hear how she talks about her children's father. If she's ripping on her children's father, she probably ain't the one. If she can't look at her own self and be objective and be able to talk about maybe some things she did wrong or maybe some mistakes she made, then she might not be the one for you. If all the blame is going towards your ex, he cheated on me, he did this, he did that. If all the blame is going towards him, that red flag should be waving, right?
And just remember that that guy is the father of your children. So you don't badmouth, especially with your kids, you don't badmouth the ex because still he's the father of your children. So that woman should badmouth the ex or say negatively about that person. So if you're considering dating a single mother, the first question that you should ask yourself is, do you want a step family? Because if your answer is no, then you should be dealing with single mothers, because single mothers from jump, you know what you're signing up for. So if you're dating a single mother, you know that she has kids, she has baggage, not some sort of a drama that you have to deal with, but you know what you're signing up for.
It's definitely a package deal. Understand that if you're dating a single mom, her and her kids go together. You can't separate them. You're never going to be able to separate them, and you don't want to separate them.
Yes.
If you don't get along with the kids or you don't want the kids, don't mess with her. Just keep it pushing. Find somebody else. It's just a better deal for everybody involved. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Think about it. Think about what you're doing and think about how it's going to affect not just you and the woman, but also those kids.
Yes.
Let us know what you think about this. Have you dated a single mom? Do you date single moms? Are you willing to date single moms? Are you against it? Are you for it? Why not? I'll say this. My mind has definitely changed about dating single moms, at least here in the Philippines. And mostly the reason is because most of the single women are moms. It is super rare here in the Philippines to find a woman who's between 30 and 40 and has no kids. And if you do, you might want to run. Leave your comments below. Tell us what you think. If you like this video, don't forget, we have a whole bunch of other videos for you. They're just as good as this one, even more entertaining, so check those out too. Join us on Wednesday where we're going to give you a whole bunch of reasons why you should feel absolutely comfortable in taking your Filipina bride back to your home country. In the meantime, I'm Richie Rich.
And this is Chang.
Deuces. We're out.